the biggest thing that I've learned, and it's something that I struggle with today, and I think a lot of people struggle with it, is at some point in their life is fear, anxiety, just that feeling of being uncomfortable, or just living in a state where there's clearly action that needs to be taken. So I used to look at, for a long time I struggled with, and I've shared this on your last time we were together, but I struggled through addiction, and it was brutal, and my life was, in a very dark place. I probably shouldn't be alive today, be just the amount of situations I put myself in, and this, that, the other. But I always lived with a heavy amount of anxiety and fear, and I wish when I went to a therapist, they'd have just told me that, like, hey, like, instead of talking about your problems, I'm going to give you just some clear action steps. Go out and do this, and then come back and let me know how you feel. So there's too much time spent, I think, where we're reminiscing and we're ruminating in this, whatever that fear block is, and we're just thinking about it over and over, of like, oh my gosh, I can't find the right relationship, or I'm never going to be successful, or this or that. And it's just, no, like, today I need to start with this and this action, go out and do it, and then I start feeling better, right? Like, so many days I have it where I'm halfway through the day, and I'm a little too stressed. Like, there's too much. I'm holding on to too much fear right now, and why am I living this way? And so, instead of sitting in that fear, and instead of staying in a place where I'm not getting anything done, I'm not having a successful day, and I feel like crap as well by sitting in it never feels good to sit with that anxiety and that fear. I've got two options: either sit in it and continue to feel the pain from that, or go take clear, actionable steps. And whatever that looks for you might be different than someone else, but figure out what that is for yourself. So one of the biggest things with being sober, right, is it's not like I used to think of it as, these guys that have 20, 30 plus years of sobriety, and they were like on the verge of dying, and they had like a needle in their arm, and they're underneath the Garden Grove freeway. I'm like, dude, that guy just one day he woke up, started believing in God, and next thing you know, he just never felt the need to drink again. It's not that. These people, they put in a lot of work. Like, so I think a huge, and I know I'm kind of spinning this into sobriety talk, but at least for me, what I always understood about sobriety and these people that go out and they rebuild their entire lives, it's no, there's a lot of daily action that they take, right? Like, I have friends 30 years sober. They wake up 6 a.m. AA meeting every day. Then they're on their knees praying next to their bed, not once, not a little bit when they need it, every day. And then they're going to work, and then they're coming home, and before they go to bed, they're writing down an inventory of every area in their life that they had a big win today, or maybe areas that they could have been a little bit of a better person. Maybe they got a little bit angry with their wife, or they, said something to a coworker they shouldn't have. Writing it all down, clearing the table, clearing that of whatever that is in their head, and then moving on to the next day. But like, clear, actionable steps. And so I'm always impressed with how much more discipline and just like grit and things that other people have that I admire, because it is really easy for me to look at people's lives that are successful now, and that overcame addictions or dealt with adversity, and be like, dude, that's cool that worked out for you. Like, how lucky, or like, what a miracle. But it's like, whoa, like, it is a miracle, but they put a lot of work in, and most people would just never do that, right? Like, there's one thing to say, like, hey, when I drink alcohol, my life falls apart, and my marriage is gone, and my kid, I can't talk to my kids any, whatever it is. Alcoholism, for example, it does a lot of bad stuff to families. But if I were to tell you what it's going to take to get sober, like, I can, it's not that I have like the exact answer, but I mean, I think AA, for example, has worked for millions of people, and there's clear steps. They're the 12 steps. They literally tell you, if you work these 12 steps, you're probably going to not have to drink again, and you're going to have an incredible life. But guess what? You still got to work these steps. And I've in my couple of years of sobriety, I've seen hundreds of people come into AA, my age, younger, older, and a very small amount of them end up staying. Most of them, I've known many that have already died because they weren't willing to work a few actionable steps. So there's like this big disconnect sometimes, and I don't know what it takes. Every person, we're different in, what's going to get us to tick enough to take those actionable steps we need to in our life. And I think for me, the biggest thing I've learned is when I don't have the willingness to take the steps that I need to, in whatever part of my life it is, I at least can go to God and ask him for the strength, the courage, the wisdom to take those steps. But it doesn't make it easy always. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I see so much, there's this culture of like, people get it. I live a fast paced life. There's a lot of fear that can kick in. There's a lot of different stresses. There's different vices people have. There's different this, that, the other. But I don't think a lot of people just have like a clear step by step actionable, way of looking at it of like, okay, yes, I feel like crap right now, but if I do this, this, and this, I'll be good. And then just plug and play. Every day I do this, this, and this, I'm going to have a great day. I do this, this, and this, I'm going to have a great day. If I don't, I'm going to, I'll deal with the consequences. So